Africa's largest hydroelectric project, the Grand Renaissance Dam in Ethiopia, has been inaugurated.
This has been 14 years in the making, finally being inaugurated. Talk to us about the significance of this dam, perhaps before we talk about some of the controversies surrounding it.
They said a project of this scale couldn't happen without powerful donors or foreign cash. But Ethiopia chose a different path. In 2011, with limited resources and enormous pressure, the country launched a mega dam on the Blue Nile using only its own money. This is how Ethiopia turned a dream into a continental landmark, national vision, and the birth of a monument. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam emerged from a powerful national dream to lift the country out of chronic energy shortages and transform it into a regional power exporter. Ethiopia announced the project in 2011, not with a global donor conference or foreign-backed consortium, but with a declaration that it would build the colossal structure using its own money. At the time, the country faced immense skepticism from the global community, particularly because major lenders were reluctant to finance anything on the Nile that might antagonize Egypt. Instead of backing down, Ethiopia chose a unique path. The government framed the dam not just as an infrastructure project, but as a national renaissance symbol tied to dignity, self-reliance, and historical justice. That sentiment galvanized the entire population, shaping what became one of the most ambitious self-funded megaprojects in modern African history. Mobilizing citizens through bond sales. With no access to the World Bank, IMF, or Western funding, Ethiopia turned to its own people. The government launched an extensive bond campaign, encouraging Ethiopians at home and abroad to buy fixed-interest bonds designed specifically to support dam construction. Civil servants often contributed a portion of their salaries, and local businesses purchased bonds as patriotic investments. Even farmers and low-income households participated, sometimes donating small but symbolic amounts. Public gatherings, television broadcasts, and community meetings promoted the idea that every citizen could own a piece of the dam. This created not just financial backing, but national emotional investment. For many Ethiopians, buying a GERD bond became an act of pride, a statement that the country could compete with global powers through unity and determination. Crowdsourcing a mega-engineered structure, the financing model for GERD stands out globally. Roughly 91% of the nearly $5 billion cost came from Ethiopia's central bank and domestic fundraising. The remaining portion was supported by Chinese financing specifically for the turbines and electrical components, but the dam's core civil works were entirely Ethiopian funded. This meant construction proceeded without political interference from foreign powers, which Ethiopia viewed as essential because the project faced strong diplomatic pressure from outside.
Push, as you were just alluding to there, 14 years of delays. There's been disputes, even potentially war threats, and reportedly even deaths. But Ethiopia is officially going to be inaugurating this $4 billion hydropower dam set to be...
Crowdsourcing on this scale is rare for a structure of such size. The dam stretches nearly 2 kilometers across the Blue Nile and stands 170 meters high, creating a reservoir able to hold 74 billion cubic meters of water. Such megaprojects are usually backed by multilateral banks or foreign governments, but Ethiopia proved that internal financing could achieve engineering feats previously deemed impossible without external capital. Engineering triumph in a challenging terrain. Constructing Africa's largest hydroelectric dam required immense technical expertise. Yet Ethiopia managed to coordinate local engineers with international contractors while maintaining full ownership of the project. More than 25,000 workers contributed at various stages between 2011 and 2023. The site's remote location in Benishangul Gumuz, near the Sudanese border, required new roads, worker housing, transport systems, and continuous supply chains. Engineers faced seasonal floods, difficult rock formations, and intense heat. The project demanded precision excavation, massive concrete pouring, and careful sequencing of turbine installation. Despite obstacles, GERD steadily progressed. By 2020, Ethiopia initiated the first reservoir filling.
This is a monumental project. It's a dam that not only promises to transform the lives of approximately 120 million people, it's a dam that also holds
Over the next 4 years, carefully timed seasonal fillings allowed the water level to climb from 540 meters to approximately 640 meters by 2024. The country's methodical approach ensured downstream nations did not face sudden disruptions, which strengthened Ethiopia's argument that the dam was not designed to cause harm. Energy production and regional transformation. The purpose of the dam was not simply national prestige but practical development. Ethiopia historically struggled with electricity shortages, with millions lacking access to dependable power. GERD's installed capacity of 5.15 gigawatts more than doubled the country's existing energy production. Electricity first flowed from the turbines in 2022, starting with two 375 megawatt units, followed by additional 400 megawatt turbines in 2024. Beyond domestic needs, Ethiopia aims to export electricity to Kenya, Sudan, South Sudan, Djibouti, and potentially Egypt if agreements are reached. Selling cheap clean hydropower provides a long-term revenue stream that could repay the dam's cost multiple times. For ordinary Ethiopians, GERD represents not only light in their homes, but a chance for industrialization, improved healthcare services, and economic growth. Political tensions and the cost of independence. Building the dam without foreign money gave Ethiopia complete control, but also placed it at the center of international tension. Egypt, which depends on the Nile for nearly all of its water, has long viewed the GERD as an existential threat. Citing colonial-era water treaties, Egypt argued the dam could restrict its supply during droughts. Ethiopia rejected these claims, insisting those treaties were unfair, exclusionary, and not binding on a sovereign state.
We do projects here. It's not to harm the downstream countries. Since this resource is a common resource, we have to reasonably and equitably utilize it.
Sudan took a more mixed position, initially critical, yet aware the dam could help manage floods and provide cheap electricity. International negotiations repeatedly stalled, contributing to regional diplomatic friction. Ethiopia, however, remained firm that its sovereign right to use the Blue Nile for development should not be constrained by historical agreements. The absence of foreign financial strings allowed Ethiopia to resist external pressure and complete the dam on its own terms. A new chapter for Ethiopia and the Blue Nile. The official opening of the dam in 2025 marked the beginning of Ethiopia's transformation into a major renewable energy hub. With full turbine operations planned in the years ahead, the country stands poised to benefit economically and geopolitically. GERD's self-funded model also offers a blueprint for other African nations aiming to escape reliance on external donors and assert greater control over their development trajectories. If you found this journey inspiring and want to explore more stories of nations reshaping their future, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel,